A sale is made, the contract signed, and a new agent is ready to come on board. So the application is overnighted to the office. The overnight mail is received in the mailroom where it then waits. Since the mail consists of all kinds of packages and express deliveries and is not just new contracts, someone has to go through it and sort it all out. Once sorted, the mail delivery person has to group the packets for delivery to the right people at the right location. Arriving at the right location, the packets are removed from the cart and dropped off in the in-basket of the person who is actually going to receive the contracts, where it waits for that person to get to them. When the packets are retrieved from the in-basket, that person again sorts them into groups, opens each of the packages, and then has to sort within the packages. There's a lot of sorting going on here. Then there's the process of counting how many she received, so she can log all of them in on a header sheet created for each one of the individual contracts. This internal paperwork is basically a checklist to ensure that everything that needs to be done to the contract has been done. And of course, to save time, one header sheet works for multiple purposes, so she has to go to the copier. And as you know, there's always people using the copier, so wait at the copier. Now use the copier, and if it's working, she's okay. So she walks back to her desk to separate the documents. The next step is the process of searching to see if this new customer or agent is actually a new agent, or if they're a sub-agent or a different branch of a current agent, so she's got to check the system. That allows her to complete the header sheet and attach the header sheet to the contract. Now she starts entering the information from the document. She then has to review several lists, one of which is a list of legal requirements. And to create a nice file for all this paperwork, she prints some labels, and then she starts the credit check, prints a credit report, staples the credit report to the other papers, which she puts into a folder, and labels the folder. She will complete several contracts for several clients, which wait in a stack, until the entire batch gets transported to the next process. What has been done so far is a lot of clerical prep work. Now the basic paper and information is dropped off into a business group, where it waits until that person has time to get to them. This person picks up the files one at a time and goes through a review process for each file. He will review his OFAC list, and because he is a higher skilled business analyst analyzing the contract, he will record the information he finds necessary. He then must check an MG list, which is a legal requirement guarding against competitive infringements. He continues to record his comments, and after everything looks okay, this business person executes the contract by signing the contract. He reassembles the files back together and puts them back on the file stack again, where they will wait again. Eventually, he will carry the files back to an area that is actually adjacent to where it started and drops them off in a stack there, where they wait. The stack is picked up again and sorted again because the next process requires that they be organized a bit differently, then carried back to her desk. She selects a file, and because this contract has been approved through all the basic credit and other requirements, she must update the system by entering more data to get them set up. The contract is now issued an account number, and all the information is transferred back to the paperwork to keep a good paper trail. She reorganizes the file according to what needs to be done for the next process. Then transfers the count numbers to all the forms, including the folder, puts the folder back together, and emails the approval so that everybody in the sales organization and in the field will know that this person is approved and will be contacted in the near future to get them all set up. She then stacks the files as completed, again creating another large batch that will of course wait there until they're ready to go to the next process. Now she'll deliver the files to the compliance area, drop the files off there, where they wait for that person to pick them up. The compliance person counts them to see how many they received, and she records the count information to keep track of the account. She'll then put the new accounts in the back of the stack, which is set up to do first in, first out, where they will wait until they get queued up all the way to the front of the stack to be worked on. She'll select the file that's in the front and carry them to her workstation, where she reviews the file. Then she sorts through the file and gets ready to make the contact with the client. She must then create her own header page for some additional information so we can determine the training or target date. She'll record the dates targeted for training, finish the data entry of information needed in the system, order the equipment, and order the checks and supplies. Now she'll make a welcome call, which is the first contact with the customer since the contract was signed by the sales agent in the field. If by chance she can't get a hold of that person on the phone, she must set it aside, wait, and call again and again until the call is successful. We want to verify the customer's information, make sure that we've got everything right, and while they're on the phone, training is scheduled. When the welcome call is completed, she emails sales and support to notify them of the training date, and everything should be set up and ready to go. Next, she will assign the file, transfer the file to a box, take the box to the file room to file this large box, which brings us to the end of the process. The average lead time of this process, from the time the contract was signed to completion, was 19 days.